좀 끌어온 게 뭐 그리 대단해. 자, 나도 끌었어.
Hi everybody, this is Sugar Moon, also known as Cheyenne. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day, night, wherever you guys may be in the world. And I hope that you guys are taking care of your energy as such. Today is going to be a very expansive topic, okay? But first, let me give a shout out and thank you to those who have joined the Sugar family. Oh my gosh, it has been a while. It has been 5 months since I last posted. And you guys know me. At this point, if you're new, you probably, I don't know, it depends on where you're at in the healing journey, but some people take offense to it. But a lot of people who are truly like medium gifted, psychic gifted, empaths and all that, they do need to take time to recharge their energy so that they can show up as their best self. And those who kind of, you know, avoid doing that end up going through a burnout, which I highly do not recommend. But yeah, everyone's on different parts of the journey. Everyone learns at their own pace. So thank you guys. Okay, thank you for all the love that you guys share on here. If you are one of those people that have shifted, you are going to start noticing the shift outside of yourself in this reality. You're going to start seeing a split in consciousness and the way that people operate and move in this world. Now, the planetary alignments and the retrogrades and all that, check out my post, my community board. I also do a lot of updated little secret messages on there. So if you are curious, go ahead and check that there and catch up with us. For those who have been following my Threads account, shout out to you because I can feel my threadies here. And much love. Okay, I'm pretty sure you found my YouTube account through my Linktree or whatever on my Threads account, but welcome, and you know, kick your feet up. I always tell people, be respectful here. If you start getting disrespectful, I'm going to go ahead and block you. I'm not going to argue with you. This is my house. So think of it as you visiting someone's house and you're coming up there disrespectful, saying, I hate this furniture, knocking down shit and things like that. Like this is ugly and everything. It's like no one asked you, and and chances are that you're probably going to be kicked out. I'm told don't come back. So yeah, this is how I treat my community, my YouTube channel, and as well as all my social media. I treat it and treasure it. I do not allow people to come and just stomp all over it and to project their energy with whatever traumas that they got to address within themselves that they are neglecting. So anywho, shout out to you guys. So we have so much to catch up on. Now, if you were on my Threads account, the last post I made was about the Ring of Fire and volcanic activity.
I am an emissary from the abyss of death, protected by Saturn, the outer planet of destruction, the guardian of silence. I am Sailor Saturn.
Okay, so you're going to hear about a lot of volcanoes and volcanic activity, eruptions happening all over the world, especially around the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire also symbolizes the eclipse, the ring that goes around the sun and moon when they meet in divine union. Divine union does start within ourselves, okay, mind you. So if you're coming on here with that bullshit like, I hate twin flames, you know, that's that toxic shit, get the fuck out of here, all right? I'm gonna, I'm coming on here to set shit straight, because a lot of people, I feel like I've made enemies within the spiritual community and as well as many other different communities because I I'm telling it as it is, okay? Let's keep it real. Spirituality and religion is also part of the matrix, and you will keep hearing that from me. So these spiritual narcissists out here, these people who use their gifts for absolute destruction, to take advantage of people, to manipulate others' free will, they will be catching hell pretty soon within this year and the next following years after that. So pay them no mind. Like I said on the community board, people are telling on themselves like a bitch these days. All right. And so I'm so glad that I take time away to just sit back and observe, because when I do, I'm able to see where the collective is at consciously. Like, where are you guys at vibrationally? It allows me to kind of take a bird's eye view or an eagle's eye view to see the whole diaspora of what's going on. And like I stated, you might be noticing a huge shift within humanity. Some people are having war within themselves. Some people are having war outside themselves. Others are seeking peace, and others are seeking to destroy. So it just depends where you're at consciously. Now, Mother Gaia, Tiamat, planet Kai, is ascending in frequency. All right. And if you've been following me, I've always stated that, as we rise in frequency, the more that things that are not a vibrational match will be vibrated out of existence in general. So transitional states. And I feel like a lot of people have been going through ego deaths, myself included. Now, I have been referring to the phoenix spirit quite often, and if you follow me on Threads, I did state that a phoenix spirit is a highest reincarnated form of a fairy or a dragon. Now, you'll be starting to hear the serpent dragon coming about. That's also within biblical times. Some people think, oh, the Leviathan is here swimming around. And it's like, nah, there's several Leviathans. There's not just one. But there's a lot of aquatic creatures, or the aquatic world right now is starting to make contact with the physical. And I did say space is underwater. People are now finally realizing that aliens and all that jazz, all that woo-woo conspiracy stuff, all of that started within the oceans. And people are starting to figure out that thoth, that as above, so below, as within, so without, that the further that you go into inward, the more outer space it becomes, the more outer world of a reflection it would be within your inner world, right? So it's a divine mirror. And people are finally realizing that, like I stated, the things that you're searching for are within yourself. What you're looking for, what you're wanting or seeking, is already embedded within your DNA or within your genetic code. Okay, it just depends on when is that going to activate. What point in time is that going to activate? Because time is an illusion, right? And people are also finding out that time is not just linear. It's not like a line or like a timeline where it's just a straight line. They're finding out that it's actually a spiral. It's something that goes inward. So again, it's about the inward, going inward as much as possible, because if you're wanting to seek to escape your situation in your outer existence right now, your reality, you may not like what you're seeing right now. It calls for you to go inward to make those changes in order for it to reflect outwardly. I hope I'm making sense. As within, so without. So there's like little genetic codes. I've been saying that the Ascended Masters 333 are starting to come through. You're starting to get a lot of angel numbers up fast. So 1010, 1001, which is the endings and the completions of karmic cycles, and now the beginning of a brand new one. So you are now integrating both the shadow and light, the yin and yang, the core of it all. And you're realizing that in order to have peace, you must also address the chaos within yourself. Chaos is something that shouldn't be feared. Chaos is a frequency known as the divine feminine. And you'll hear me say that quite a bit, that if you fear chaos, if you run away from chaos energy, more than likely you have not integrated that divine feminine shadow self within yourself, or likely you are operating in a very programmed like manner, or through habitual things that you've learned within your culture growing up, or within your core beliefs that you created as a child. Now that you're an adult, and now that you are listening to this right now, chances are you have already done enough work to research about yourself, about where your lineage comes from, where is your DNA background from, what bloodlines do you come from, are you from a royal bloodline, or are you from one that is also, there's also cursed bloodlines that also have to be addressed down here too. Okay, so people are starting to going through that Virgo, I'm feeling that Virgo-esque energy, at 6th house energy, of going inward into that hermit mode, and going into that like subconscious, and asking yourself, why am I here? Do I have a purpose, or do I create my purpose? I know I'm here for a greater cause, but what is that? How can I implement that into the physical? How can I create that into a reality? Okay, so I'm feeling a lot of people with the Aries energy, and now that we just entered Taurus when I'm filming this, we just passed 420. Okay, there's a lot of shifts happening, also with political stuff happening within the world. A lot of fear-based energy is now being brought upon us, and you're starting to get those little whispers in those ears, or people are being used vessel-wise from these entities that are lower vibrational, that come from lower realms. Okay, some can call them demons, some call them like earthbound spirits, whatever it is. These entities are using vessels that are closest to you, whether it's on the internet, whether it's in your family, friends, lovers, whatever it is, and you're starting to see the shift within them as well. Because the more that you're starting to do work within yourself, you're starting to see the reflection of those that do not do the work within themselves. And it's very apparent, okay? It's not something that's like, oh, I need to like dive deep and see what. No, it's like, it's straight up in your face right now at this point. So there's no more being in that Delulu-like energy, that Piscean-like energy of the unknown. It's more of like that embodiment of truth, which is that Aquarius energy, able to, things being exposed, things coming to the light that was in the dark before. And, you know, there's a process when it comes to that, because when things get exposed, we go through that Delulu state of like, but is that really true? Did that really happen? Is that really like what's going on? And it's like, yes. It's just that your ego is trying to catch up with the truth of it all, because your ego doesn't want to accept what's really going on. So, all right. But I'm feeling about a bunch of Capricorn energy coming through, which is the Saturn, okay, which is the person of time. Saturn is the god of karma, or goddess of karma, okay, or dharma, whatever it may be. And we just passed a lot of people who celebrated Easter, who are religious, who you know, believe in I call him Yeshua. I don't believe in Jesus. If you guys know that here, I call him Yeshua. And I'm feeling a lot of these ascended masters, or this energy like Thoth, these scribes, these teachers, Buddha, all of that, they're coming through, Kuan Yin, all of these gods, Sekhmet, Bastet, you know, Aset, Isis, you know, Anubis. I don't really get jiggy with the Greek goddesses, but let's call them what they are. They're just the same entities, the same gods and goddesses that were back in ancient Kemet, Atlantis, Lemurian days, but we have called them different names over time. Religions call them something different, okay? So some people even think Archangel Michael is like associated to Thoth in ancient Kemet ways. So just like how Oshun is associated to goddess Aphrodite, or even Oshun is associated to goddess Isis of ancient Kemet. It's the same entity, same frequency, just called different names. That's why I tell people, do not get so stressed out on the label. If you're so worried about, twin flames and everything like that, it's a label and all that. Yeah, it's a label. It's a label, guys. I need you to understand this, that in the spirit realm, we don't talk like how we talk here, like through words. We talk telepathically. We talk through frequency and energy. It's more of a feeling. That's why when people, I can tell, like when someone's cut off from their divine feminine energy, they do not feel their emotions. They run away from them. They reject them, and that's when you'll start hearing that they're the runner. But it doesn't mean that they're running away from like a person. They could be, but it's more they're running away from the truth of it all, from integrating themselves. So you're running away from yourself. You're not running to somewhere else. You're running away in a spiral. So basically, you're gonna loop back. No matter how far you try to run, you're gonna loop back to yourself, no matter what. That is the reality down here. That's why we are here, to face ourselves. Even our darkest moments, in our darkest hours, in our most shadow moments, we are facing ourselves, and that is the truth. Because we are all not perfect down here. We are not meant to be perfect down here, or perfect beings. We are multifaceted beings. Okay, just like how gods and goddess realms in the 8th and 9th dimension, they are also multifaceted. But people are starting to realize that there are more than just 8th and 9th dimension. There is a higher dimension than just the god and goddess realms. There's more to it than what we know now, more to what even I know. We are all students here, and we are also all teachers here. So it's about finding the balance between both, and also respecting one another and our different beliefs, and because chances are we're all going to the same place. And I don't mean that as in like after death, some people, of course, people are going to go in the lower realms, people are going to go to higher realms. That's not what I meant. I meant that we're all going to be facing death at some point in this lifetime. The thing that you run away from the most, which is death. It's funny how people celebrate so much life, but when it comes to death, if people want to shun it, it's something that's a taboo to talk about. It's ooh, let's not talk about that. That's a little scary topic. But birth is also scary too. That's not pretty. As someone who's a mother, giving birth is just as painful as going through death. It's a rebirth process. So when we're talking about the resurrection, the Lazarus, the resurrection of Yeshua and things like that, the resurrection of Kuan Yin, these entities, these beings, when we mean by the generation Alpha, the new generation Beta, the new generation that's coming in, these are the new ancestors. These are the ascended masters now coming through in physical vessels, well, whether it's through the earth portal, whether it's through a mother's womb portal. It just, because people are going to be like blowing their minds right now when it comes to finding out about that not all entities are born here through a mother's portal. Okay, we have entities coming out the damn ocean. All right, we got entities coming out the sky. And people are also realizing that the sky is also a projector screen. It's a dome. Kind of like Final Fantasy VII when they had different sectors and stuff. But it's like being in an aquarium, like a dome, like an actual, like once you go past the ice walls, you'll start realizing that you're actually in a dome, which is like Antarctica, right? Which is where you'll find a lot of people are coming through those emergence zones, or a lot of these entities are also emerging from Antarctica, which is through these portals, okay? So a lot of people are starting to do more research on Antarctica and the things that are going on down there. Like a lot of these, I'm also hearing Spirit speak of the dire wolves. So I don't know if you guys have known that the scientists have now created a dire wolf, and it's like, it's not a dire wolf, it's a human-made creature that defies Mother Nature or laws of nature. So I wouldn't even put it on the same category as a dire wolf. That would be almost offensive to call it that. We are now realizing that we're in that age where people are questioning if this new age of AI, or the transition with the advancement of technology, and the advancement of, should we actually be doing this? Like, should we be doing this? Or it's more of like, they've already warned you that they would be doing this. So it's not a question of like, oh, they shouldn't be, you know, messing with laws of nature. But people, these entities have been doing this since since the beginning of this spiritual war. You would be shocked to know how much gifted warlocks, witches, and those who are in high positions, because people who are high ranked in God's realm, in God's army, there are also those high ranked in, you know, the other side of the army. There are high ranking magical beings also working for the other side, right? And we're in that point where, this is what I meant, this ties back to the timeline shift. Are you going to choose love or fear? Are you going to go in the direction of choosing this way or that way? Are you on the path for higher ascension and consciousness? Or are you on the path for staying down here stuck as an earthbound spirit, continuously repeating the same cycles and staying stuck in a past life, you know, reincarnation cycle? Because, again, people are realizing the reincarnation cycle that we go through is also a trap. Okay, some of these lower vibrational entities, like selling our soul, it doesn't mean like actually selling the soul, like it means that you are forfeiting a part of yourself so that you can stay stuck in this realm, so that you're not able to advance to the next level, the next stage in life, that when you do transition, you would be stuck here as an earthbound spirit. And I tell people this all the time. Being an earthbound spirit is way worse than going into the hell realms to receive your sentencing. In a way, you kind of want to go and receive the sentencing so that you can get it over with and to advance to the next level. No, when you're stuck and you can't advance, that's more of a hell state, in my opinion. Being able to be caught in a web of time, confused with amnesia, which is what we are going through right now. When you're born here, you are here with amnesia. You forget where you come from. You forget your origins. And then you have to find yourself again. So you have to lose yourself, lose your mind in order to find it again. So that's why when people go through spiritual awakenings and dark night of the souls, people say that they're crazy, that they're losing it, that they're delusional, when really they're not. Most people who are in the mental hospital, people who are going through psychiatric things, either they're going through a psychosis or they're actually going through a spiritual awakening. There's a huge difference. Now, I don't want people to be like, ooh, you know, getting a little bit too caught out there, because we got to still stay centered here. You are still here to live a human experience. As much as you want to dive as deeply to the other realms, and you're going to go there, you know, eventually, you are here to enjoy the present moment. You are here to live your life to the fullest. You are here to love deeply. You are here to experience loss, pain. You are here to experience what it's like to forgive, to fall down, to get back up. These are life lessons, not out of punishment, but by through ascension. Because pressure really does make diamonds down here in this realm. In order to rebirth, no one wants to go to heaven, but they never want to die. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but they fear death. Like, really, you have to go through the death process in order to get through to the other side. It may be scary. It really is. Let's not, you know, especially if you're caught in that egotistic mindset of, especially if you were programmed to fear death. You're going to think of it as scary. Just like how you're programmed to fear spirits and ghosts and freaky shit and all these paranormal shows and movies and things like that made by Hollywood and all that. All of that is just magic to make you fear yourself, your original self. You are magic. You are the embodiment of a magical, ethereal being. Not everyone, okay? Some people down here are not high vibrational beings, are not made in God's creation. Not everyone is from the Most High. Some were created, like I stated, with the dire wolves. Some people are created. Got that clones and stuff. But I'm not gonna like throw so much information on you, because I still have to, I still gotta take care of a few things, but I'm gonna break this up in parts so that it's not overwhelming. Because I know a lot of people, we're in that age where people have such low attention spans, they can't sit longer than 5 minutes to retrieve information that's important. No, they're like, give it to me now, give it to me now. How can you give me the most information in like under a minute? And it's like, I get it. Some people do receive information very quickly, but they're also like, people are telling on themselves, showing that there's no patience being practiced, because patience really is a virtue down here. Not everything has to be rushed. Okay, some of this information, if it's rushed too much, your actual consciousness can implode. Okay, too much information can make you feel like you're being mind blown. It's too much. It feels overwhelming. So some people, when it becomes overwhelming, they reject it. They say, it's too much bullshit, too much work, too much that. Like, that's too much work to dive into. Okay, well, that means that you're not ready to receive that type of information. So much love to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you guys go. Okay, peace to you. All right, and yeah, know thyself. This is a season of no longer accepting disrespect. You are coming into home. You are coming home. You are following Polaris, the North Star, to yourself, the compass, which is your heart, that leads you back home, which is the divine feminine energy, which is the divine feminine who is rising. She's back. He's back. Dun, dun, dun. But they're gonna arrive in the form that you least expected. And it's always gonna be in the form that you least expected. Especially the person that you least expect. Have a great day.
Took a couple, I took some time off to rest, and now it's game time, bitches.